Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, my league at third in this winter season, and of course we claimed 2 more dispatches using those union points. Of course, I'm going to share with you all this in this video. For now, let's take a look at this depressing P.LOH Express. This is not something I really enjoy. The fact that we're just claiming parts, and that's the legendary parts of using 500 coins every time, not a lot. Every time we're going to have just a few coins here and there, and they're going to spend a lot in terms of 500 coins to be exchanging of just a tiny bit of parts. So that's not my favorite P.LOH Express, but nonetheless, really just keep on going and just do whatever I could. So for the winter season, I think it's much more interesting. Of course, getting more of this union trains is important because generally there comes a time whereby there'll be a request of just using union trains, and if you do not have them, you'll face difficulty in sending those dispatch out. So there are different thinking in terms of this all-new game update in by Pixel Federation in winter season. Yes, I got excited when it first started because it's something new. I've been seeing some time since a major update like this by Pixel Federation for TrainStation2. But after some time, I find it's a bit tiring though. The fact that the poor implementation, of course the intention was good, trying to get more teamwork out of the union members, so discussion like, oh, which jobs should I be doing first, and then we just focus on that, and eventually let's aim to get that settled, and then eventually everybody get in to finish up that job. And it was a lot of teamwork, a lot of discussion like what to go first and whatnot. But all this seems to be a good intention. There is a poor implementation because generally, if you want people to enjoy the game and keep on going, you really need to press down the number of quantities that need to be delivered. Because if you have such huge quantities like 10-20,000 of items to be delivered, it is really painful. For the fact that we will only be claiming maybe intense number of those event items to be delivered with exchange of hundreds of items. So that is really a painful process of just using the trade center, and not forgetting when we first started with just 3 dispatches, unless you've been dumping lots and lots of gems to get the new dispatches, the union ones, then that's for you, but not for me, because I'm not spending a single cent and I don't get gems for free except for watching a video or 2 every time. So it's relatively painful to play this union winter season, but nonetheless I think the price is good because there are some parts here and there. There are also, in terms of those points you get trains, and the union box, I eventually at the end of this video you see me exchanging for 2 more of those dispatches. So I have 5 dispatches, permanent union dispatches right now. That's after we got cleared this round, and also I think with the league doing really well, we're maintaining at third, we'll be upgrading to the next league, and I think that's great because more rewards will be waiting for us, especially when we move up the ranks and move up the leagues. But again, time and again, there will be gem spenders. It's very obvious. Looking at the global top 50, you realize that a lot of people are spending real money, and that's really bad. I think spending too much money in the game is poor, because it just makes you wouldn't want to leave, and you have to feel like you're working to get out of it, because generally they'll be soaking up all their time in trying to keep up with the union competition, and that's exactly what Pixel Federation wanted for you to do, but do not fall for that. I mean, you feel very drained, and basically you don't feel like playing TrainStation2 anymore. That spoils the whole intention of TrainStation2, which wanted basically to increase teamwork and let you play a lot more. But let me urge you this way. I mean, if you take it the different perspectives, basically you can continue your own way of playing. You can always be doing what you wanted, like upgrade your town, take your time to upgrade your trains, and just play your region jobs, and don't play any event jobs or even the union jobs as well. That's perfectly fine. No one is forcing you to do so. Don't be pressured by that, because generally you just got to be careful in terms of that play, because you just earned what you provided, because it's distributed based on the fact that the more you put in, the more you gain. So it's basically you really have to think through what you want in your game. I think deleting the game of the day based on frustration of the new update may not be that well, because you have invested a lot of time and interest into this game, because this game is still perfectly fine. You can play the old way without all the new updates that you want to play. Otherwise, you can actually play part-time. You go with your old way of playing, and then you play a bit of these union jobs. Perfectly fine. No one is forcing you. I will be doing that a lot when the new Christmas event comes along, and I'll be basically doing just part time on this union jobs, and it will be always here to stay. It's not going to run away, but it is draining in terms of two things. One, your items or resources, you call it. Two, draining in terms of the warehouse spaces, because all these items are taking a lot of warehouse spaces. So I'm trying my best here to clean up my warehouse of all these union items, because they are taking too much space in my warehouse, and I'm just need to prepare moving forward towards the Christmas event to have a good warehouse space, because I wouldn't be wanting to give up in the Christmas, because Christmas itself there'll be two legendary trains I'm going after, and what do I gain of this union gameplay? Probably parts and union trains, and just a chance of trains. And later on you'll see, no matter how many times I try to get the union trains, I wouldn't be getting a legendary one. I'll be just getting a common one and common one forever. So there is no real hurry to contribute too much into this union winter season that actually frustrates you. You should be focusing more in terms of the event trains that be getting from those major events. But Polar Express is a poor reward kind of system that is not worth playing. Just play as if you want. My priority will be on the union jobs, then Polar Express. But once the event comes on board, I'll be focusing on only the Christmas event, and probably just play a bit on the union. And I think that's back to the old way of playing, and you won't feel so frustrated after all. So I hope this video addresses the frustration that you are experiencing with all these new updates, and you feel like giving up, because that's how I feel initially until I thought it through. I think there's no harsh basically no hurry to basically you want to just go with what you've been playing and enjoying the game so far. That's perfectly fine. I always emphasize you to upgrade your buildings, your trains and whatnot. You can see here Polar Express is a pain. You need to just get it through and eventually claim a bit of coins, and you claim a bit of parts. And if you watch a video or two, sometimes you get the same amount of parts that we don't needing to go through all this hassle. So to me, this is a very poor rewards system. Polar Express is a very intermediate kind of mini event. They force it out, and it's very poor timing. I always emphasize this. I think I mentioned this in previous video. Having 3 events concurrently running, like Train Tycoon and Polar Express and the union jobs, is totally mad. So Pixel version has really very poor in terms of the implementation planning. So good game design, put in effort to do this and that, but just the implementation extremely poor. So this is quite upsetting. This is not the effect that I hoped we will be getting along the way. Of course, probably they have achieved their target of people spending a lot of gems, and they're making huge number of revenue or playing associates game to get gems. If you're Android players, for Apple players like myself, we don't get all this, and especially in the region I'm in. So I think if you have achieved Pixel version objective of you spending a lot of gems, then probably they have a win. And for me, it's just a different story because as a free-to-play, we don't do all the stuff that fall into the trick of Pixel Federation. That's perfectly alright if you really want to spend real money. Just be sure you're playing this game forever. Otherwise, you're putting in a lot of money for the game just temporarily, and I think that's not fair. And there is no much of a difference to me. I think at the end of the day, putting money or not, you still enjoy the game. That's most important. For me, I'm a free-to-play advocate, so I don't spend a single cent in any of the game. So that's totally different perspective, and I still get the win by my own way, by starting late. Trying to keep up to, the competitions by playing every hour if possible. Even if I lose, it doesn't really make painful. Even I don't get a certain train, it's not painful. That's perfectly alright, because we never run out of events in TrainStation 2. And don't rush to level up, because in TrainStation 2, it's unlike many other games. There's no hurry, because there are too many things to be done, and there are too little resources available for you to do things, because they want you to spend real money. So that's the main purpose of Pixel Federation. Don't fall for it. Enjoy the game, enjoy the scenery, go with your pace, whatever you prefer, and just go ahead and do that way. This is not a game to make yourself stress. Just whenever you have time, your own pace, play. And I think just got a common understanding by the union members, and tell them that you have other commitments, be it your family, be it your life, or be it your work. You wouldn't be playing TrainStation 2 24/7. So that's perfectly alright. Just play it, enjoy. It's a game for enjoyment, not to stress and additional work. That's how many members have been complaining, and I've been trying to explain to them there's no real issue if you don't really play, and just play your own pace. Alright, so I hope you share the same if you're for your union. But of course, there are comparative union, like I mean, we are at the 12,000 region here, but there are really unions that goes like 50-60,000. So you can imagine the amount of cash they put it in, and of course the amount of effort they put it in as well. So that's very different. You can see here, that's crazy, total craziness. I think Pixel Federation has completed its mission by getting people to spend real money and trying to fight it out. But whether this lasts or not, nobody knows. And if it lasts, good for Pixel Federation, who is getting cash busy, getting all the money in. But not so good for the real players, as we're spending money chasing after virtual stuff. So game for enjoyment, play it free, that's the best. Alright, so we got 522 bucks, and I'm going to just upgrade the number of dispatches, permanent dispatches. Got one there, another one 200, and then the balance we're going to save it up for the next round, and we could get our another dispatcher. So this round I'm just getting 2, add on to the common dispatchers or the permanent dispatchers that have is 3, total 5. When the part-time comes in, we have 6. I think that's good. The only issue now is we don't have sufficient items, but of course there's irony. I need to clear the warehouse spaces, so that is the point I'm trying to drive at. Alright, so I'm gonna just getting all this train containers opened. I'm gonna show you how bad it is in terms of Pixel Federation. They have made a very bad script so that you're getting all the common trains and nothing else, but probably 1 or 2 rare trains after 10 tries or so. So don't be saddened by the fact that is normally how it works when the game developers just want to squeeze out real cash from people. So this is very different from where I've been playing TrainStation probably 2 or 3 years back. Bit more generous, or a lot more generous, should I say. Most of the time we get legendary epic trains, not so much of common. So that's really fun at the time, but if you've been doing all this and you spend real money and be getting just common trains, I think that's really rubbish. So that's almost the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed this game so far. Keep on going and do your best, and at your own pace, please, and have a good rest. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.